Hare Krishna. Are prayers over?
No, Prabhu.
Om Jnana-timirandasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Dadati Svapadantikam Namam Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nitinamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Hare Krishna. Reading from Srimad-Bhāgavatam. By His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. We are reading from Canto 3, Chapter 13, the appearance of Lord Varāha. So again, this is the appearance of, as we see from the Jiva Goswami, this is the appearance of Shveta Varāha millennium, that is Shveta Varāha Kalpa. So we'll see later the difference between, what is the difference between Shveta Varāha and Rakta Varāha. So, text 18. Ityabhidhyayato nasa vivarat sahasanagha varahato ko niratat prishtaparimanakaha. Translation.
O sinless Vidura, all of a sudden, while Brahma was engaged in thinking, a small form of a boar came out of his nostril. The measurement of the creature was not more than the upper portion of a thumb. Hare Krishna.
So suddenly, O Anagha, O sinless Vidura, suddenly there is the form of the Varaha appeared from the nostril of Lord Brahma, very small form of the boar, which was like the upper portion of the thumb. Okay. So the measurements in Bhagavatam, they will be right from the atomic to the universal to the relatable, and what one can relate is one's body. So you can see your thumb, and the thumb has two portions. So the upper portion of the thumb, you can just thumbs up and see the upper portion of the thumb, and this much was the form of Varaha when Lord Varaha appeared. तस्याभिपश्यतः स्वस्तः क्षणेन किल भारत गजमात्र प्रवृद्धे तद अद्भुतम अद्भुतमहात्. Translation.
O descendant of Bharata, while Brahma was observing him, that boar became situated in the sky in a wonderful manifestation as gigantic as a great elephant.
So by the time Brahma became aware that there is appearance of Varaha Dev, suddenly the form of the Varaha rose up in the sky and began to manifest as gigantic as a great elephant. Text 20. Maricher pramukhir viprai kumarahir manunasah drishtva tat saukaram rupam tarkayamasa chitradha. Translation.
Struck with wonder at observing the wonderful boar-like form in the sky, Brahma, with great Brahmanas like Marichi, as well as the Kumaras and Manu, began to argue in various ways. Hare Krishna.
So they were unable to ascertain what is this form. And thus Manu, Marichi, and many other, such as four Kumaras and others, they began to discuss, began to argue, who is this form and what is happening? Text 21. Kime tatshukaram vyajam satvam divyam avasthitam ahovatascharyamidam nasayame vinismritam. Translation.
In this some extraordinary entirely come in the presence of a boar. It is very wonderful that he has come from my nose.
So they were wondering, what is this form about? Sukaram vyajam sattvam. He is situated in the mode of, completely in the mode of goodness, very wonderful, ascharyam. And they were wondering what this form means, who is this personality is. Text 22. Drishto Anushtashiro matram kshanadanda shilasamah apisvit bhagavanesha yajño me khedayanmanah. Translation.
First of all, this boar was seen no bigger than a tip of a thumb, and within a moment he was as large as a stone. My mind is perturbed. Is he the Supreme Personality of Godhead Vishnu? Purport. Since Brahma is the supermost person in the universe and he had never before experienced such a form, he could guess that the wonderful appearance of the boar was an incarnation of Vishnu. The, the uncommon features of symptomatic of the incarnation of Godhead can bewilder even the mind of Brahma. Hare Krishna.
So Brahmaji began to wonder. Just now he was like the tip of the thumb, and suddenly he has become as huge as a great elephant. My mind is completely perturbed. Is it the form of the Supreme Lord Vishnu? In the purport, Srila Prabhupada explains, Brahma is the supermost person, but still he has never experienced the form of the Supreme Lord. So it is not that Brahmaji knows, oh no, Varāha Dev is going to come. The life is not so boring for Brahmaji. There is a sense of excitement even for Brahmaji as well. So when we see that here Muhyanti yat Surya. Muhyanti yat Surya means here we can see that the great personalities, they are also bewildered. So Brahmaji, he was thinking, I have never seen any living entity who can transform from the tip of the toe to the huge gigantic form of the elephant in a fraction of a moment. Maybe he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu. And Prabhupada says the uncommon features of the symptomatic of incarnation of Godhead can bewilder even the mind of Brahma. And later we'll see in the 10th canto also, like how the Supreme Lord completely bewilders Brahmaji. They are Brahma Vimohan Lila. So, and that's why the reaction to bewilderment by Brahma is great ascharya. Common men, they will react in terms of avajananti, by offending the Lord. And that's why there is a verse. Avajananti mam mudha, manusham tanumashrita. Why? Varam bhavam ajananto. They do not know the higher, superior nature of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, which Brahmaji, Marichi, Kumara, Manu, all they are experiencing now. Text 23. Iti mimansadastasya brahmana sah Sunihi Bhagavan Yajña Purusho Jagayar Gendra Sannima. Translation.
While Brahma was deliberating with his sons, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu, rolled tumultuously like a great mountain. Purport. It appears that great hills and mountains also have their roaring power because they are also living entities. The volume of the sound vibrated is in the proportion to the size of the material body. While Brahma was guessing about the appearance of the Lord's incarnation as a boar, the Lord confirmed Brahma's contemplation by roaring with his gorgeous voice. Hare Krishna.
So while this discussion between Brahmaji, Manu, Kumaras, it was going on, the Supreme Lord Varāha began to roar, and the roar was as thunderous as the great mountain. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada writes that everything is a living personality. Even the great hills and the mountains, they have their roaring power because they are also living entities. So modern science is yet to reach to that point. However, we know that whenever there is a Shila which is used for the crafting or the creation of the deity, it is the Shila is a very, very specific Shila will be used. That is called as a living stone. Okay, somebody may wonder what is this living stone, but there is a great science of living stone which is used as Bhagavat Murti, right? And in the Shilpa Shastra, there are various symptoms of stone to identify a certain living stone. So Srila Prabhupada says here that the great hills and the mountains, they are also living entities. Later will come in the description. Many times the description will come just like Indra cut off the hands of Vritrasura, just like he had previously cut off the wings of the mountains. And so, these descriptions are there. And Prabhupada says the volume is proportional to one's body. And therefore, now the Varahadev, of course, his body is transcendental spiritual, but having the gigantic form, he began to roar in a very tumultuous sound vibration. Text 24. Brahmanam harshayamasa haristamsya juddijottaman swagarjitena kakubha pratisvanayata vibhuhu. Translation.
The omnipotent Supreme Personality of Godhead enlivened Brahma as the other highly elevated Brahmanas by again roaring with his uncommon voice, which echoed in all directions. Purport: Brahma and other enlightened Brahmanas who knows the Supreme Personality of Godhead are elevated by the appearance of the Lord in any of his multi-incarnations. The appearance of the wonderful and gigantic incarnation of Vishnu as the mountain in like boar did not fill them with a kind of fear, although the Lord's resounding voice was tumultuous and it echoes horribly in all directions as an open threat to all demons who mightly challenge his omnipotencies. Very bold.
The omnipotent Supreme Lord enlivened Brahma and all other living entities who are enlightened living entities. So although there was a tumultuous roar, that roar was like for Brahmaji and other enlightened personalities like Marichi and Chatushkumar and Manu, it was like as sweet as the sound of Lord Krishna's flute. That uncommon voice echoed in all directions, and the Supreme Lord, boar incarnation, Sukara Rupa, was roaring again and again. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada explains, Brahma and other enlightened Brahmanas were enlivened by the appearance of the Lord in his boar incarnation. So any incarnation of the Lord is as transcendental as any other incarnation. It is not that the Rama incarnation is superior to the boar incarnation. No, they both are the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu. And the material inebrities will not be posted or will not be, will not overcome the personality of Godhead. Sometimes, we will have a different feeling looking at the Varaha or looking at the Sukar, the pig, and we will have a different feeling looking at the cow, and we will have a different feeling looking at the giraffe or something like that. Okay. But when the Supreme Lord, the Supreme Personality of Godhead personally appears, he is beyond the material inebrities. And that's why Prabhupada right here that all these great personalities, they are enlivened by the appearance of the Lord in any of his multi-incarnations. So each incarnation is as transcendental, as pure as any other incarnation because it's complete purity, right? It is Shuddha Sattva. So the appearance of the mountain-like boar did not bewilder the devotees. Neither such personalities, they became frightened. No, they were enlightened. But here the boar incarnation, the resounding voice with tumultuous echoed in all directions. And he was echoing anybody who is challenging his omnipotency. So many times even devotees have this, slight level of uneasiness with Shukara Rupa. Like one of the devotee, after initiation, he got the name Mahavaraha Das. And he was very morose. He was feeling, I got this name, Mahavaraha Das. And somebody is having, like Vraja Chaitanya Krishna or Vraja Krishna Das, and somebody having Mahavaraha Das. Both the names are equally transcendental. So we should not put in our material inebrities on the form of the Lord, on the name of the Lord, right? So here, this is confirmed by such great personalities as Brahmaji, Chatushkumar, Manu, Marichi, and so such great personalities that they were all enlivened They were all very ecstatic upon the appearance of Varāha. Right. Text 25. Nishamyate gharitam svakheda kshayiśṇu maya sukarasya janastapasatya nivasinaste kribhi pavitrair munayo grunansma. Translation.
When the great sages and thinkers who are residents of Janaloka, Tapaloka, and Satyaloka heard the tumultuous voice of Lord Boar, which was the all-auspicious sound of the all-merciful Lord, they chanted auspicious chants from the three Vedas. Purport. The word Maya is very significant in this verse. Maya means mercy, specific knowledge, and also illusion. Therefore, Boar is everything. He is merciful, he is all knowledge, and he is illusion also. The sound which he vibrated as the boar incarnation was answered by the Vedic hymns of the great sages in the planets Janaloka, Tapaloka, and Satyaloka. The highest intellectual and pious living entities in those planets. Pious living entities live in those planets, and when they heard the extraordinary voice of the boar, they could understand that the specific sound was vibrated by the Lord and no one else. Therefore, they replied by praying to the Lord with Vedic hymns. The earth planet was submerged in the mire, but on hearing the sound of the Lord, the inhabitants of the higher planets were all jubilant because they knew that the Lord was there to deliver the earth. Therefore, Brahma and all sages, such as Bhrigu, Brahma's other sons, and learned Brahmanas, were enlivened, and they concertedly joined the praising of the in praising the Lord with the transcendental vibration of the Vedic hymns. The most important is the Brihad Naradiya Purana's verse. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna.
The great sages and thinkers who are all resident of Janas Tapasatya Nivasinam. All they are Nivasi of Jana, Satya, and Tapaloka Nivasis. Tebhir Pavitrair Munayo Granansma. These residents of Janalok, Tapalok, and Satyalok, who are the great sages and thinkers, heard this tumultuous voice of the Lord, all auspicious sound of the all merciful Lord. They chanted the Vedic hymns from the three Vedas. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada explains the word Maya. So Maya, Prabhupada says there are three meanings of Maya. Maya means mercy, Maya means specific knowledge, and Maya, generally which we use in many contexts, is illusion. And therefore, Lord Boar is everything. He is merciful, he is not in all knowledge, and he is illusion also. Why illusion? Because it is nato natya dharo yatha. Just like a nata cannot be understood when he is on the stage. It's very difficult to ascertain who is on the stage, what dress he has taken, right? Similarly, the Lord, who is Sachidananda Vigraha, has taken the form of the Sukara Rupa, and therefore he is called as transcendental illusion. Varāha made his sound by tumultuous sound vibrations, and the sounds were responded by the sages by the hymns of the Vedas, from the three Vedas. And these are the personalities who are like Jana, Tapa, Satya, Loka Nivasini. They are the highest intellectuals and the pious living entities living in those planets. And the Lord responded, and they echoed with the prayers from the Vedas. And this is how there was, the reciprocation between the Lord and his devotees. Prabhupada says here, Brahma and such great sages as Bhrigu, Manu, and other enlivened Brahmanas, they joined the Lord in praising the Supreme Personality of Godhead by chanting the Vedic hymns. The natural question will come, what is the best Vedic hymn? And therefore Srila Prabhupada says, the best of the prayers To glorify the Lord, to appreciate the Lord, to praise the Lord is chanting of the Mahamantra Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So we will conclude here and continue tomorrow. Sorry, I joined little late today, slightly in a. We will come back to normalcy. So we are beginning at 7:15 every day, 7:15 to 7:40. Sorry, 7:45. Oh, we have some time. Sorry, I thought 7:40 only. Anyway, is there any question, any comment? We'll conclude today a little early, and from tomorrow we will have this time of 7:15 to 7:45. Sudha Mataji, you have raised your hand.
There was no sound, that's why.
Acha, okay. Yes. Fine. So we will conclude here today and continue tomorrow. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Thank you, Prabhupada. Thank you, everyone. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhupada. Thank you, Prabhupada. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you, everyone. Hare
Prabhupada.
Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhupada. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.